What's up? Welcome back. CageCast, it's Mike, and we're going to go ahead and do the recap from the previous weekend, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the upcoming fight night coming up with Corey Sandhagen and Figueiredo. Today I got the old man on today, Olwhittee. What's up?
Hi, guys.
Well,
Glad to be
did
back
you?
again. I'm always glad to be back.
Well, I'm always glad to have you. It's fun to
Hey,
talk
we're
about the
missing
fights.
Jason.
Yeah,
Missing
he's
Jason. I know he was in town.
he'll be on tomorrow. I talked to him
Okay,
earlier.
cool.
He had to play catch up from the weekend, so we'll go over
I'm
we'll
sure all
go
you
over
guys were
that
playing all
with
weekend.
right. We'll go over that on quickly on his podcast, and then we'll go over what he thinks about these fights as well. So that being said, you did watch the fights, right?
I did watch the fights.
All right,
Let's
awesome.
go.
Well,
You start.
yeah. So I've got the fights pulled up: Ian Garry versus Protez, and then of course we're going to mention the undercard with Anthony Smith versus Zhang. So we'll go ahead and start with the undercard. Anthony Smith's last fight versus Zhang, and I think I was saying this that this Asian guy's just been knocking people out, looking good, and I thought he was going to do that to Anthony Smith, and I think you were on board too, and it kind of went that
I
way.
was right on board. It went
So
exactly that way from the very beginning. And I'm a big Anthony Smith fan, but it went as exactly as I expected.
it was definitely one sided. And he looked a little frustrated. He kind of looked like it was the last walkout. In my opinion, you get one or the other. You get the guy. It's I don't care, full throttle. Go out of my shield. It's my last fight, and then you got the guys are. It's my last fight. I'm just kind of going to go through the motions, and that's what I was getting from Anthony Smith. Going through the motions. He's retired. He had a pretty decent career. I still think he should have taken that win over John Jones.
I agree with everything you just said. I'm right on board. I have
Well,
nothing to add.
Zhang looks good. I mean, he looks good enough where he's looking like a promising prospect in the light heavyweight division. Somebody keep your eye on at least. So we'll see if he can keep the steam going. We'll see who they feed him next.
All right, let's move on to Gary.
All
That
right.
that I'm ready to talk about the Gary fight.
Well, last minute, Ian Garry steps up against Carlos Prates. Um, and he looked pretty good. He did basically what I thought he was going to do in the fight. He's going to keep his distance. The Protest had the longer reach, so he was going to dance around with the kicks, keep the points going, and just kind of wear him down. It started out the way I thought. It didn't end the way I thought. What do you think about the fights? I know you've been waiting to tell me about what you thought from the get go.
I've got to go old school with this. You and I've been watching these things since 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, from the very beginning. So we've been around in this game for a little while. I'm right there with you the whole fight. He dominated the fight. He looked good. He was a ring master. He was doing very well until the last round. And my opinion on all this is old school rules. No tap out. I mean, no decisions and no time limits. He loses that fight.
Possibly. That would make Nate Diaz the greatest fighter of all time in the UFC as well if there was no rounds and no time limit. But there is. And then that's what is Nate Diaz's downfall because the ones he goes to decision, he usually loses those. But
I'm
I
just
thought Ian Garry,
lamenting.
right? I thought Ian Garry looked good. I think he's definitely working his way up to a title shot. He called for it next. I don't think he deserves it next. He was pretty respectful though. He said he wanted it, but if Rachmanov came back from injury before then, Rachmanov deserves it because he lost to Rachmanov, and that was supposed to be a title contention. He didn't get the title fight right away. JDM stepping in this next week. So for him because of that injury. So he said, "Hey, I want it next because I finally got a win, showing you guys I'm still good. But if Rachmanov comes back, he definitely deserves it." So at least he was being honest. I just think he needs another fight before they give him the title. But anything to get Bilal Muhammad out of there because that guy's so boring.
Once again, I'm right on board. These are easy calls. I really enjoyed the fight. Carlos Pradas, once again, without any time limits, I think he wins that fight. But it's not that way. It is rounds, and he took every round without a problem. He just got caught in the last round.
I mean, he can still come back on a little bit of training and maybe get that. Um, let's see if Ian Garry can get up there and get the title. To me, I don't think Bilal's going to hold it down. I think the title's probably going to jump around two or three people before we get a champ that is able to hold it down for two or three wins. Um, so I think it's going to go that way. Does Ian Garry deserve it next? I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing
No,
it
I
though.
don't think so. I would watch it, but I think he needs one more.
Yeah, I think they give it to Rachmanov, and then I don't even know really who they'd give him who um in the top 5. Guess you'd have to play out how that whole title contention looks. Maybe he just I hate it when they wait for their title shot and they sit on the sidelines too long. I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not either. Like John Jones. I wish he'd fight more often.
Yeah, he's like the second longest heavyweight title holder, but he's only had 2 fights.
Yeah,
Least active, longest
exactly.
almost the longest reigning heavyweight champ. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold out until he's the longest reigning heavyweight and light heavyweight champion of all time. Trying to
Well,
keep
I
his
don't
GOAT
want him to
status.
wait so long that he's past his peak. You know what I mean? He turned into an old man just waiting to fight.
I mean, John Jones only fights one every 3 years anyway, right?
Yeah.
So he's due for one coming up. He'll be turning 40. He'll be like, I retired at my last fight at 40. He's just gonna wait that long. No,
Well,
I think they want to force him. I think Tom Aspinall's trying to move on and fight Cyril Gahn. I think that's
um, I think that's a done deal, isn't it?
mm, they are announcing it that it was going to be a fight, but then Dana White says, "Nah, he's still confident that John Jones and Tom Aspinall are going to fight this year." And it's like, well, when? We're
Hey,
getting tired of the holding
you
period.
yeah, we're year's almost half over. We need to get there.
And John Jones is like, I need 6 months after I agreed to the date. So it's like, well, you're going to get picked at December. We're going to wait until December.
Well, he'll
Yeah,
need 6 months before he can test clean.
probably just from the party drugs he was using.
Exactly. He's gonna have to 6 months just so he can pass.
Well,
Hanging out with Connor probably.
for short notice, Ian Garry did it. He got it done. I think he deserves some kind of reward. I just don't think it's a heavyweight. I think they give him a clear cut for contender fight. And then if he can get through that, the full training camp, which seems like he could do, then maybe we give him the whoever wins the title up coming up. So see how that works out. Now we do have believe a title eliminator for this coming weekend, Corey Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. I'm pretty sure they're saying that the winner is going to get the winner of Sean O'Malley versus Marab coming up. So I think that's a good fight. Now, in my mind, when I first saw this, I was like, Corey Sandhagen just takes him. Figueroa's good, and he's a good striker. Sandhagen is so tall for this division, and he's been working through everybody. I think he's got this one, and I think he gets it done pretty dominant. Stoppage, probably like second or third round is what I'm really thinking on this fight. Any thoughts?
I think Corey's gonna walk through him. The odds makers think so also, but I think he's just gonna walk through him. He's just too
They
much for
do,
him.
and that's what I was going to bring up. Is he's 5-1 favorite on this one, so they think the same thing I'm thinking. He's just going to walk through them. Um, $10 only gets me $2 back on that. So, and it's almost worth it just to bet against him, to play the odds because that same $10 on will get me 48 if Figueroa pulls it off.
Hey, I think a
So,
funner fight is the one before that, the middleweight bout with
right,
Ritter and Bo Nickel.
I usually don't bet on the undercards, but we were watching Anthony Smith on the last one. This is another good one right here. I think Bo Nickel is overrated. He's undefeated, and I think these undefeated
He's
most
overrated.
of these undefeated fighters are losing this year. I think we've already gotten like 14 or 15 of them lose their O. I think Bo Nickel's overrated. I think he's going to get a 2-time champion out of DeRitter. DeRitter looked really good in his last fight. So yeah, I'm leaning DeRitter on that one. I think RDR gets it
Yeah,
done.
I saw that fight, and I thought that no, that's an interesting fight, and I'm going with the Ritter on that. I'm not a big Bo Nickel fan.
And I think whoever wins this, we give them a top 5 fight. Um, Whoever wins this is 2 fights away from a title, or 1 or 2 fights.
I
That's
agree.
how it could
I
be
agree.
played that way. I know they're trying to streamline RDR to the middleweight title. They're also trying to do that with Bo Nickel, make him a superstar. I just don't see after watching how vulnerable he was in his last fight, and even I agreed with the crowd that was booing him. Think he might not quite be ready for that top 5 class yet, but I think RDR is ready. I think he's already kind of getting over his UFC jitters. I think he steamrolls Bo Nickel. I think he finishes Bo Nickel. And if he did it in fashion with a submission, that'd be awesome.
That'd be way awesome. But yeah, that when I saw that, that's an interesting fight. And then another fight that I'll be watching on the prelims is Misha Tate. I'm a big fan of hers through her career. She's on the prelims,
Yeah, she
and
closes
I
it
don't
out,
know
huh?
anything about the girl she's fighting. Yana Santos. I don't know anything about her,
She
but
got a
I'm a
three and
Misha
a
Tate
half
fan,
reach.
so
She's
I'm
got a
wishing her
three and a half
well.
reach advantage on Misha Tate. Let's see her record. Ooh, she got a decision win against Chelsea Chandler. Let's see decision. So she's mostly a decision fighter, but she does have a KO, TKO. Oh no, she got TKO'd. Okay, never mind. She lost that one. Yeah, she either gets beat up or she wins by decision. That's what I see here.
I see Misha Tate mauling her a little bit.
I mean, feel like they're just feeding her to Misha for an easy win. Prop Misha
I
back
agree.
up.
I just thought it was cool to see Misha back in there. You know, she's she's been around a long time, and she's paid her dues.
I don't think she's currently ranked at the moment. Oh, yeah, she did get a
No,
submission
I mean
win in
she's
her
been in
last
there
fight.
against the best. You know, I think she won her last fight.
She did. She's got some good wins. She got a win over Pennington. Uh, she got beat by Nunez, but we can't blame her for
Everybody got
that.
beat by Nunez.
She lost a split decision. She lost a couple
she,
decisions. But she got
she
a
lost to my old
submission
girlfriend. She lost to my old girlfriend Ronda Rousey
way back in the day.
way back in the day.
That's right. Submitted in round 3
That's
is what it
right.
says.
Armbar, armbar.
That's right. She came back and knocked out Cat right after that, though.
That, but that's a good knockout. You know what I mean? Cat was a good fighter.
Well, let's go to the
Is
odds.
she even still
Let's see
fighting?
how they're saying it. They're saying Misha Tate is a slight favorite in that fight. So almost a
But it's
coin flip.
slight.
Slight, yeah,
Yeah.
slight.
Who would you pick on that one?
Hmm. Probably Misha Tate. The other girl's mostly a decision winner, and we know Misha Tate can get a finish. And she's good on the
Nah,
ground.
she's a finisher.
Mhm. Yeah, not the
Yeah, if it
best
goes
odds.
to a decision, Mitch will probably lose. But she's a finisher.
All right, so I'm gonna bet on the Corey Sandhagen fight. I'm gonna do $5 on each of them because I'm not sure who's gonna win. Figueiredo has he can do it. He is ex champion. He is really good. course, I just think like the odds makers that Corey Sandhagen's just going to blow through him. The odds are so shitty. $5 only gets me $1. So I thought, hey, let's just throw 5 on Figueiredo because if he gets it done, at least I get $24 out of that.
Right.
So I think that's how I'm going to go, guys. Oh, they can't even see that. Hold on. Let me turn us off real quick. There it is. That's the payout, guys. Place that bet. Dunskies. All right. So either $1 or $24. All right. Let's bring Olwhittee back in. All right. Well, so you think Misha's got it too?
I think Misha's got it. I told you that's why I even brought it up. I just now saw her name and I looked into it a little bit. And I thought, okay, cool. That looks like a good fight.
Figueroa or
You know,
Sandhagen? You think Sandhagen's just going to blow through Figueroa?
yes. Yes, I think he's going to walk right through him. I don't think it'll go past the third round, probably second round.
Second round. Well, let's see what the parlays say. Well, they don't have them up. So, well, that's what the odds makers say. I think, just me looking at that, that's what I think too. I think he's pretty much going to finish him and do it like in the third round or so. But again, you can't count out an ex-champion, just count him completely out. So, it being so lopsided, I don't know if I agree with it being so lopsided on the odds maker side. I think it should have been a little closer, or at least gave me some better odds on Sandhagen. But I wouldn't mind watching that Misha Tate fight. I might pay attention to that one. But we also have.
I didn't see anything else that really interested me on the undercards or anything. Sometimes I like to watch those, but I'll definitely be watching that one. Now we got a pay-per-view coming up that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Is that what you're pulling up
not this
there?
week. Yeah, not this week, but next week we definitely
Right.
have one. And this is that really boring card with Bilal Muhammad on it.
We
I don't
talked
like
about that
Bilal
already,
Muhammad.
didn't we?
He got the title and immediately has been talking trash for like a year without defending it. So JDM is who I'm leaning towards. I think Shevchenko keeps her title, and still, I'd like to see Aldo win. He's been looking good lately. This Zahabi guy's he's looking good too. Might have to dive into that one a little bit more. I think,
Aldo looked really good on his last fight, but he's a little road worn.
but he's been looking
He's
good at his
been in
last
some
few
wars.
fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he is still a legend. So, yeah, I don't know. I have to look into this one. What's the age difference? They're about the same age, these guys. Aldo's got a little bit better reach, about an inch and a half reach advantage. So I might be leaning towards Aldo. We'll see if the
I'd
Zahabi
lean
can do it.
towards Aldo. Knowing that same age, I'd lean towards Aldo.
See, I'm leaning towards Grasso versus the Silva. Let's see, who did Silva fight last? Because I wasn't too impressed. Jessica Andrade. Well, I guess that is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
I was thinking that of against Vivian on that one undercard, but well, he's been getting decisions. We'll see if she can keep it up. I don't know. Grasso is going to be a tough one, I think. Well, let's see if Grasso is coming off any wins or losses.
I would like it if she had a few more finishes in her in the last few fights, at least one. If everybody's taking her the distance, that's not a good sign.
Ooh, Grasso submitted Shevchenko 2 years ago.
Ooh. She might lose it.
I mean, if she's got the skills to pay the bills, yeah. So she's got her in 2023. She fought Shevchenko and beat her, and then took her to a draw in the same year. So
Yeah, she's got the skills.
Then they did the trilogy, and Shevchenko got the belt back. That's right. All right. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Grasso on this fight. She's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, she's bad. I just wasn't
They're
clicking who she was.
right there, and they're almost the same age. It's not like there's a huge age gap. There's not a huge reach advantage. It's just Grasso. That's why I was in my mind. I was like, I think Grasso, but no, I bet the odds makers are thinking Grasso too. See if they even have that one
Let's
up
see.
real quick. Already exited that page. Here we go. UFC Grasso. They have her as the underdog. I think I'm going to take that.
I would take that. Too bad I'm in Texas.
I'm going to put $5 on Grasso right now, even though it's still a
It's a
little
bit away.
early. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in early. I just lock in early because that was unless the odds get better, I'll place another bet. But I don't think. Yeah, the Silva
That
with
just
these just
feels good,
with the
doesn't it?
yeah with a couple just a couple decision wins like doesn't do it for me. Even though it was against Andrade,
No.
I'm like, which one weighs heavier in your mind, Andrade or Shevchenko? I mean,
Yeah, Shevchenko. Are you kidding, man? Shevchenko's a monster and still is.
right? Yeah, I'm not too impressed. With Silva. Like I said, I must have not have paid much attention to the Andrade fight, but the one before that against Vivian, I was just wasn't thrilled with that fight. Wasn't appealing to me. So I'm logged in with Grosso. I think she's got it. She's bad. Yeah, she beat Shevchenko and took her to a draw before she took a loss. Like, I mean, I feel like they could do a fourth match. I think if she gets the win tonight,
Yeah,
we do number 4, and it's like the real trilogy because there was a draw and there wasn't a clear 3 out of 4.
I'm right there with you. Call Dana.
That's right. He's listening. He watches this.
You need your
Dana,
hotline there.
Dana,
Dana.
get it done. You heard me. Grasso wins. We need fight 4 against Shevchenko. Money and make it headline a fight
That's a
night
money
so we
fight.
can. So yeah, make a headline a fight night or like the third title on a 3 title fight card. Let's make it. If we're gonna do it, let's do it exciting. Let's do like John Jones, Tom Aspinall. Let's do we'll do like a Islam Taporia, and then we'll do Shevchenko Grasso, like just stacked card for December. What do you think about that?
I
Come
think
on,
that
Dana.
sounds
Let's make it
great.
happen. Let's make it happen.
Hey, he also needs to put together a like a baddest bitch belt. Like the baddest badass belt he's got for the guys.
Right? That'd be kind of
Give him
cool,
the
but
baddest bitch
but
belt.
but we know what would happen. Amanda's coming back and she takes that right away.
And she just take that
We're just
too.
gonna let her walk off with all the titles again. Like she's just gonna get them and walk off with them again. Like I was
Hey,
thinking
sounds good to me.
they
I'll
announced a
watch
fight
her
the
every
other night.
time.
I'm trying to see. Oh, July 19th,
Holloway
Max Holloway
Poirier.
versus Poirier for Poirier's retirement fight. This is a trilogy for them.
I'll go with Holloway.
Poirier's gonna lose on his retirement fight, huh? It is for the BMF title
Yeah.
too.
I saw where Dustin wants Little John to come walk out with him.
Yeah, maybe.
He did a shout out to him.
Now in June we still get this Khalil Roundtree versus Jamal Hill.
Now
And then
that's
they
a good
put
fight.
and then
That's
they put
interesting.
Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio on the undercard, which will be a really good one. This will be a pretty good fight night right here. Starting to make them better, where at least the co-main is pretty decent as well. It used to be just the one main fight, and they're getting better with the undercard. Oh
There's
yeah, and
Rose, my
June
bud.
14, Rose is back. That's right. She's fighting Maverick,
The
and then Usman versus Buckley.
Yeah,
That'll be a good one.
that'll be a good night. You know I'm a big Rose fan.
And then, who cares about this Bilal card coming up? But this 316 is going to be fire right here.
Look at
It
that
is.
Sean coming
We
in.
got Kevin Gastelum versus Pfeiffer is finally going to go down. Marlo Vera versus Bautista. We're getting Johnny Walker on that card. We're getting Bruno Silva. We get the Pena
Man, that's a
Harrison
stacked
fight.
card.
Yeah, we get a Marab
Wow.
versus Sean O'Malley. Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Let's see. What's the cutoff? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gaslam starts off the card, and then Marlon Vera, Bautista, Johnny Walker. Those are the undercards for the prelims right there. Oh, Vicente Luque's fighting Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's just a beast. He just fights a bunch.
Now that's a stacked card. Okay.
Now this is one. Let's see what. Yeah, this is 170 Kevin Holland. This is the good Kevin Holland we're gonna get. That could be an interesting fight. Yeah, see, who cares about this Bilal Muhammad card when we got something this badass for 316 coming up?
I'll be ready. Especially if that boring ass card coming up.
I know. I'm like, man, $80 for this Bilal Muhammad card? Jeez.
That's a tough nut to crack.
It is. I'm gonna have to make Jason go half on it with me, and that way I'm only paying $40. I don't mind paying the $80 for this 316 though. Yeah, I'm more excited about that.
I've been known to spend $80 on a sour stomach and a headache, so yeah, I would do that.
Let's see. What is the title for the women's right now?
I'd just be guessing.
I know it's Pena, Wei Li, Shevchenko. Right? Are those the only 3 women's classes we get? Pennington? I thought maybe Pennington was a champ. We're gonna have to go check.
See what I can find out here. See what I can find out here.
I'm pulling it up right now. Oh, that didn't took me to Wikipedia. That's stupid. Here we go. Pena, Shevchenko, Wei Li. Yeah, I guess those are the only 3 divisions we got now.
Hey, all good champs though.
Except for Pena. I think Harrison runs through her. And then whoever,
Whaley's been champ
even if,
the
only person that beat her is your girl Rose beat her twice.
Yeah,
Rose is online. Rose was online talking trash. I don't know if you heard her. Everybody was saying Wei Li's the best strawweight in the world. Strawweight, and Rose got online and said, "Nah, I'm the best strawweight in the world." I've knocked her out and beat her. But she moved up to flyweight, so she's technically not a strawweight anymore. But she was at least talking trash online. She's like, "No, I'm the best. I beat her twice."
Like, I love the thug. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost out of character for talking trash because if you ever see her in real life, she's like a super hippie.
Oh, she's so sweet, in real life. And you're right. Well, she's a hippie chick.
Well, I think that wraps it up for the upcoming fights that we really needed to pay attention to. So Machado Gary got it done. We said he was going to get it done. We're saying Corey Sandhagen tears through Figueiredo. I think RDR beats overrated Bo Nickel. Are you going for Bo Nickel, or you think RDR has that one?
RDR. Bo Nickel is way overrated, I think. I think you said that too.
I agree. The crowd was telling him he was overrated. Plus, 2025, he's going to be like number 15 or 16 to lose that RDR. And then on 315, JDM, and then Shevchenko. think that's how it's going down.
Exactly.
Uh, I didn't watch very many of Jack Della Maddalena's fights, but um, hey, props to him for getting a chance to go up there and get it. I think anybody can take it from Bilal if they try hard enough.
Once again, he's a jerk. I'm going for JDM just because I don't like BM.
I mean, he does have Bilal has that one no contest where he got poked in the eye. Now, I do think they need to do something about all the eye pokes. Uh, like a couple people have called for. I think even on the first eye poke, take a point. That's a serious foul. That's what, taking people out like seriously, like having to get surgeries and stuff on their eyes, and you know, we already had a guy lose an eye in the UFC. We don't need more stuff like that. So I think if they were just taking points away immediately, people would be coming in with closed fist, or at least not with their fingers up. So
I think for one stern warning, then point.
no, I'm just
Accidents happen.
yeah. Well, not it shouldn't. You're a pro. It's a to me it's a foul. And it's like horse collar.
Aren't they all accidents though?
No, no. It's like I think yeah,
Depends on who you're asking. If you're asking the guy who did the poke, and it's always an accident.
I think they should do it with holding the cage too. Just take a point immediately. Don't even warn. A lot of
I
people,
agree with that
a lot less people be
100%.
grabbing the cage. Like you'll see a lot less of these fouls if they were just taking points away because you lose 1 point, you can still win the fight or come out with a draw, but you lose two, guaranteed loss basically, especially in a 3-round fight. So I think they need to do something. They need to come down a little harder on it. Um, at least tell the refs, like you said, if they're going to start with a stern warning, then it needs to be that way. And then when the stern warning comes, that goes for both sides. Like if one guy pokes him, he's like warning. Well, that's the warning to the other guy too. You poke this guy in the eye, I'm going to see it as retaliation, and we're losing a point. Everybody's losing a point from this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think they should be sterner on all that kind of stuff on retaliation fouls, even getting kicked in the nuts. When it's obvious the guy just kicked him back, it I don't know. Rules. Say UFC was ruined with all these rules. I liked it better when they could just hit him in the nuts.
All right. Now let's close it off with the final question of the night. Can 100 men beat a gorilla?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
The
You
answer
think
is
100 men
oh,
could take a gorilla? So you got big silverback over there, and you got 100 men willing to go and tackle that, get that, take it on all at one time. Do you think they can overwhelm the gorilla, or do you think the gorilla kills 100 men?
I'm putting $20 on the gorilla.
All right. That's the new question going around social media right now is the 100 men versus a gorilla. Some people are like, "Sign me up. We're definitely taking that gorilla out." And I'm like, a gorilla's grip strength can literally crush your man's head in its palm. It can
Yeah.
rip your arms off with ease. There's nothing you could do with your hands and fist, even with 100 people, that's even going to bruise the muscles or even puncture the skin. You can't hit this thing. Its bone density stronger. Its skull's thicker. You can't run up and just clock a gorilla. No, you'll probably just break your hand. Yeah, he's killing everybody. And like I said, he could grab a guy by the arm and the leg and rip them off and then beat another 20 dudes with those. You know what I mean? Like Rice
That's
just
what I was
running
gonna say.
while
Pick up a
he's
couple of
yeah, he's just spinning through them like gorilla spinning, ripping arms off people. Like they're dead. Like how many people are going to take off running after that?
Hey, I'd watch that fight though.
I think
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Beast
No,
Mr.
I'd go
Beast was talking
gorilla.
about doing it, but it's way too dangerous. But yeah,
No,
there's a
I
lot
go
of
with
people
the
out there
gorilla.
that are like, you know, who did it? I think Bo Nichols said, I'll lead the charge. And somebody else is like, clone me 100 times and I'm taking out a gorilla. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, guys,
No.
you guys don't understand how dangerous and thick the skin is if that gorilla got a hold of you and you bit it, it's not doing anything. You might annoying him enough where he'd just rip your head off, like literally, like and throw it.
They
Shoot.
also have a bite force. I forget what it is, but it's unbelievably strong.
Oh yeah, he's probably just biting full hands off. You throw a punch at a gorilla, you just bite
Yeah,
your hand off, and your whole hand at the wrist is gone. You're like, oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. People aren't thinking they're thinking of like a docile like chimp or something. And I'm like, no, they said a gorilla. The situation is 100 people versus a silverback gorilla. You know what Chael said? He goes, think back
what?
to UFC 1 when, and he named the names of the sumo wrestler guy that got his teeth knocked out by that kickboxer. You remember that
The
back in the
very
day, right?
first fight
Oh yeah,
by
yeah.
yeah, the
But the
Sabat,
sumo and
yeah.
the tall dude, the tall white dude, just kicked him in the face and knocked out all his teeth. They're like, that guy was 600 pounds. And everybody on paper thought back in the day that there's nothing you could do to a 600-pound man. I'm like, that Chael just doesn't understand the difference between a big 600-pound sumo wrestler and a 600-pound gorilla. Like, there's just the grip strength, the power, the muscle fiber, the density. No, 100 people are losing. I'm not even signing up for that. And I'm going to be cringing if I watch it too, because I'm like, oh, those people are dying. Like, bad idea.
Hey, 100 men with no weapons would have a hard time against a large chimp, much less a silverback gorilla.
I
A
think 100.
chimpanzee
I
can
think
rip the
100
arms
people
off
could
of a
take a
man.
chimp. Chimps are strong, but I think we could overwhelm it because of the size factor. Dogpile on it and eventually take it out. You can't 100 people dogpiling on a gorilla isn't doing anything. A gorilla's running through them like
No.
a linebacker. Like, wow, people going flying while, like I said, while he's spinning and ripping arms off. Like it's out getting out of control.
Hey, you've got a good imagination. That's cool. Uh, you crack me up.
Well, that's just how strong gorillas are. I just thought you know, I see them doing the
Well,
twirl
once
around
again,
their
you asked
cages
me.
and throwing huge rocks in. Yeah, they're killing it. He's killing it, all 100 of those people. Now the gorilla
You
might
asked
even
me
not
what
even
was
do
my
anything.
answer.
Gorillas might, or I don't think they're just aggressive like that. As soon as they start attacking it, that gorilla's killing everybody.
Yeah, he might not do anything until the first attack, and then everybody's dead.
That's right. He might be confused at first, and then once he feels threatened, yeah, you guys are all dead. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's 100 giant football players. They're all getting destroyed.
Well, like I said, you asked me. I gave you your answer. Gorilla.
Right? That's the right answer, I think. Well, I
All
think that's
right.
where we're going to wrap it up. 100 people versus a gorilla. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and link Olwhittie's page in the description again. I don't think he has any videos out, but go follow him anyway. He'll be dropping videos very shortly. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and follow this channel. It's help break the algorithm. Hit the notification bell so you know when more videos come out. Leave some comments, guys. What do you think about some of these bets? Do you think the Bilal Muhammad card is really that boring, like we're saying? At least compared to the 316 card. Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Sandhagen Figueiredo? Again, get in the comments. Let us know if we're crazy. Did you guys place any bets? If you did, what'd you back it up with? I did a $5 bet. And what do you think about that? Already locking in for Grasso on the 316 card. Was that a little bit much? Do you guys not believe Grasso has it? Again, we need more comments and interaction, engagement to help grow. Go ahead and subscribe, and then checking stuff off with Olwhittee. I'll have that linked in the description. And it's going to be more no MMA, more randomness, family stuff. Him watching some videos, reacting to stuff, just checking stuff out, checking out his life, checking out what keeps him entertained. Isn't that right?
Exactly.
So
What keeps me entertained? Well, I hope will entertain you. You guys can steer me towards the right direction.
that's right. And then go over there. Let him know what's a good Bigfoot video to watch. Because trust me, you want him to get in there with my stepmom and talk about that, because that'll be crazy good. She's entertaining too,
We'll
you
bring her
guys.
in.
Um,
Yes, we'll bring her in on that.
but he needs a good Bigfoot video. So let me know in this comments, and I'll link it over to him, and he can grab that one from you guys. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in a few days with Jason. Peace out.